Hello guys, this is Oroth and a warm welcome back to my channel. Today's video is sponsored by Vic, the master jeweler in Westmarch, and this video will be especially dedicated to all of the ladies out there, because we all know that legendary gems are a girl's best friend. So what we're gonna do is that I will create 3 different core packages that you can use. I will create one core package for DPS, I will create one core package for PvP, and I will create one core package for farming. In order to acquire these core packages, we will have to take a look at 11 different legendary gems. And of course there are also other legendary gems that are useful, but I believe that these gems is something that everyone should acquire. And of course you don't have to upgrade them to rank 10, it's enough if you get the 2-star gems to rank 5, and if you get the 5-star gems here to rank 2 or rank 3, that would be good enough. I really want to thank the sponsor of today's video. Vic, the jeweler in Westmarch, has the best service and the best prices, and he has opened up his showroom to us so that we can take a look at these gems. So let's get it on. We're gonna start by looking at the 1-star gems, and in front of us now we have a Berserkers Eye. It's such a beautiful legendary gem. Look at this pristine specimen here that Vic is showcasing. This looks very good if you put it on your left ring finger, but you can also put it in a necklace or in your earrings. But what this gem does is that it increases your damage, it decreases your critical hit chance by a little bit, and it also increases the damage you take. But if you play well, it doesn't really matter if you take a little bit of extra damage. Maybe you're into that even. So Berserkers Eye is the first gem that everyone should get, and you should try to get it to rank 10. The next legendary gem we're gonna take a look at is another beauty, and it's called Everlasting Torment. And I promise you, if you give this stone to a loved one, you will receive everlasting love. And what it does is that your critical hits will inflict agony, dealing base damage plus some extra damage for 6 seconds. Each nearby enemy afflicted with agony increases your attack speed by X%, and each enemy cannot be affected by this more often than once every 20 seconds. So what are you waiting for? Head into Westmarch and get this gem from Vic right now and upgrade it to at least rank 10. Let us continue and take a look at the 2-star gems, and we begin with Mother's Lament. And let's be honest, if your mother knew all of your dirty little secrets, she would be appalled. So get this gem and let's hope she never finds out. And what it does is that when you deal damage, you have X% chance of gaining Maternal Disdain, increasing your critical hit chance by X% for 6 seconds. And this cannot occur more often than once every 20 seconds. When Maternal Disdain ends, you release a blood spike toward nearby enemies, dealing X% base damage to any enemies it hits, and also cause them to bleed. You can't live without this gem, and you should get it to at least rank 5. Don't wait for it, go and get it now. Have you ever been with someone who keeps hurting you, but you can't get enough of it? It's exactly the same thing with Pain Clasp, which is the next gem we're gonna take a look at. And what it says is that it increases the damage dealt by X% to enemies suffering from a continuous damage effect. And when an enemy suffering from continuous damage is within 10 yards, your movement speed is increased by X%. This is one of the best gems in whole of Diablo Immortal, so everyone should get it, even if it hurts. Make it at least rank 5. Don't be afraid. The next gem gives me shivers down my spine only by looking at it, and it's called Viper's Bite. And let me tell you, when this gem was released, I couldn't wait a second to get my hands on it, because it's one of the best legendary gems in Diablo Immortal. And what it says is that damaging enemies poisons them with Viper's Venom, causing them to take X% base damage plus some extra damage every second for 6 seconds. Enemies inflicted with Viper's Venom also have their attack speed reduced by X%. This cannot occur on the same target more often than once every 20 seconds. Everyone needs a Viper's Bite, and you should get it to at least rank 5. The next gem we're gonna take a look at is called Igneous Scorn. And when I gave one of these to my girlfriend, we didn't sleep all night. And what it does is that your critical hits cause explosions that deal X% base damage plus some extra damage to nearby enemies. These explosions cannot occur more often than once every 6 seconds. After triggering an explosion, your damage is increased by X% for 2 seconds. So if you also want to experience these explosions, get one of these now at Vic's Jeweler store. And you should also get it to at least rank 5. If it wasn't clear by now, I really like it hot. And that's why I chose to include this next gem as well. It's called the Volatility Shard, and it burns in your hand, invigorating your passion even stronger. And what it does is that when you defeat an enemy, you trigger a volatile explosion, dealing X% base damage plus some extra damage to all nearby enemies, while granting yourself X% increased damage for 2 seconds. This cannot occur more often than once every 6 seconds. Not a lot of people use this gem, but I'm gonna explain to you why it's useful, and you should get one and get it to at least rank 5. Now we're gonna take a look at the 5-star gems, and we're gonna kick it off with a true classic. This is probably one of the most popular gems in Diablo Immortal, and I'm of course talking about Blood-Soaked Jade. Just look at it. It's almost intimidating, like it's whispering to us to wear it, but at the same time it whispers that we should run. This gem is a dangerous gem, but we can't live without it. So you should get one now, and what it does is that it increases all damage you deal by up to X% while at full life, with a minimum bonus of X% while at low life, increasing your movement speed by 10%. Additionally, take X% decreased damage while below 50% life. This is a must-have. Get it now, and you should get it to at least rank 2. If you ever make a bad choice in life, you have to live with the consequences. And one of the worst choices you can make is to not get this legendary gem. And I'm of course talking about Roiling Consequence, one of the most powerful gems in Diablo Immortal. And what it says is that dealing damage sends you into a roiling rage for 6 seconds, during which your critical hit chance is increased by X%, and critical hits cause a fire explosion that burns nearby enemies for X% base damage over 3 seconds. Explosions cannot occur more often than once every second, and roiling rage cannot trigger more often than once every 20 seconds. Your critical hit chance against burning enemies is increased by X%. This is incredible. You can't miss out on this opportunity. You have to get one of these now, and you should get it to at least rank 2 or 3. It can be really difficult to get out of a toxic relationship, and maybe that's why it's also so difficult to get rid of this gem, and I just have to include it. And I'm of course talking about Seeping Bile. And what it does is that your attacks have a 4% chance to poison enemies, inflicting X% base damage plus some extra damage every second for 6 seconds, and decreasing movement speed by X%. The poison spreads to nearby enemies if the victim dies, and cannot affect the same target more often than once every 20 seconds. This gem is a keeper, but that toxic relationship, please end it. It's not good for you. Anyways, you should get this gem now and get it to at least rank 2 or 3. You are probably a middle-aged gamer watching Diablo Immortal YouTube videos, and if that's the case, you probably wouldn't mind some extra spark in your love life, and that's why I recommend this next gem. I'm talking of course about Void Spark. And what it says is that dealing damage conjures a Void Spark for 6 seconds. While the Void Spark is active, dealing damage has a 30% chance to unleash lightning that chains up to 8 enemies, dealing X% base damage plus some extra damage to each, and your attack speed is increased by X%. Lightning strikes can only trigger once every second. Conjuring a Void Spark can only occur once every 20 seconds. This is also an amazing gem, and you should get it now to at least rank 2 or 3. So, thank you very much, Vic, for letting us borrow your showroom to showcase these amazing gems. And of course, there are more legendary gems that are very useful as well. But the point of this video, as I said in the beginning, is to construct 3 different core sets. And these gems will be useful within these core sets, no matter which builds you are playing or which class you are playing. Of course, there might sometimes be slight alterations, but if you have these gems, you will always perform well with a lot of different types of builds that corresponds with the different packages. So let's start now by looking at the DPS package. The point of this package is of course to increase our damage output. And to increase our damage output, we do not want to look for gems with dot effects. We do not want to look for gems that has a special event that occurs, like Starfire Shard or Swanson's Haunting or something like this. What we want is damage modifiers. And the most powerful damage modifier in Diablo Immortal that will increase your damage output the most is critical hit chance. And that's why we chose to include Roiling Consequence and Mother's Lament here. And what we also want is to have plain damage increase modifiers, and that we will get from Berserkers Eye, Pain Clasp and Blood-Soaked Jade. So this is a base package that will work with almost any type of class or any type of build when you want to improve your DPS. Of course, there are also other good gems, if we take Bloody Reach for example, or Fervent Fang, but those gems are only good in certain builds or with certain classes, in comparison to these 5 gems that will be useful to anyone. So that's why I'm recommending everyone to get a copy of these gems that we see here, and I want you to upgrade the 1-star gem to rank 10, the 2-star gems to rank 5, and the 5-star gems to at least rank 2. And of course you can continue to upgrade them further, but my recommendation is that you get all of the gems that I highlight in this video and upgrade them to the levels I'm suggesting first, and then you can start working on other legendary gems after that. The next package we're gonna take a look at is the PvP package. And compared to the DPS package, this works very differently. Because when we want to use the DPS package is when we can fight against our target for a longer period of time. So take a Gauntlet's boss for example, we can often stand next to it for a long time and continue to deal damage, and then of course we want to have as high DPS as possible. But in a PvP situation it's often very different. There is often a window less than 1 second where we can actually attack a target, because they keep moving and also they fall back and we don't want to overextend. So that's why I believe that dots are super effective in PvP, because it's enough if we can deal damage 1 time to an enemy and then the dots will take over and start dealing tons of damage over time. So the package looks like this. At the first slot here we have a 1-star gem called Everlasting Torment, and this will apply a dot effect. We also have Viper's Bite, a 2-star gem, that's another dot effect. And then we have Igneous Scorn that will get triggered by dots, and it will also create explosions that in turn spread the dots to nearby enemies. So if someone has dots on them and they run back and they are standing among their friends, when Igneous Scorn triggers, it will spread the dots to their friends. So it's super efficient. We also use Seeping Bile because it's another dot, and we use Roiling Consequence, because it also has a dot effect. So if we look here, we have 5 gems that will help us to deal damage over time, and if we pair these gems with, for example, the Baron set to prolong the duration, and the 4-piece Grey set that will help us to interrupt bandage, this is very strong in PvP, and there's a lot of people who runs it. Of course, there are many other gems that are also great in PvP, like Starfire Shard, and I can make the list a lot longer. But I chose these 5 gems because I believe that anyone can get these gems and fit them into the PvP builds, no matter your class and no matter your build almost. So this is the PvP package. Finally, I want to talk about the farming package. And the farming package is a little bit similar to the PvP package, but still different. because when we talk about farming package is when we want to kill off packs of mobs fast. So for example, in open world farming, when we are running around in a circle, we are running from pack to pack. And the purpose of this package is that it will be enough if we manage to just do damage to one of the monsters in a pack in order to kill all of them. So what will happen is that whenever we deal damage to one of the monsters, most often it will trigger an explosion, either from Volatility Shard and Igneous Scorn. And this explosion will often kill off the whole pack, and if not, it will spread the dots to the whole pack. And then the dots will kill the whole pack instead. We also have Void Spark, because this helps us to spread the dots onto new packs that are a little bit further away. So yeah, the key here is that we don't want to stop and fight within a pack. We just want to keep running. It's enough if we deal damage one time to one of the monsters, then the dot effects and the explosions will do the rest. So that's why I chose these 5 gems. There are also maybe some other gems that are viable. You can put in on top of these 5 gems, you can put in some extra damage modifier gems if you want to, if you need some extra damage. But what I want to recommend here is that I would not put in gems that has special events occurring that has a longer cooldown than 6 seconds. So if you take Volatility Shard and Igneous Scorn, for example, those explosions can happen every 6 seconds. If we compare it to Starfire Shard, which has a good effect and it will kill off a pack, but it can only happen once every 20 seconds. So therefore I would not include it in my farming package. Now we have looked at all of the 3 packages, and I can promise you that it doesn't matter if you are lower resonance or higher resonance. If you start making your builds around these packages, you will see huge improvement most likely. Of course, there are also other things that you can look at in order to improve your abilities in different types of content. You have to look at your reforge, you have to look at the magical attributes of your items. But let me say this, it's very possible for someone with low amount of resources to be extremely impactful if you just focus on the details. Sometimes I see people making comments about certain builds not working, and they say that the only reason why they're working is because you have super high ranks on your legendary gems and your resonance is higher or your secondaries is higher. But when I spectate these people, I can see that everything is wrong. The magical attributes on the legendary items is wrong. The magical attributes on the set items, they are wrong. The reforges, they are wrong. There are so many things that they could change to improve their impactfulness, but they have not done so. So my advice to everyone is that when you watch a build video, it's fine, you can copy the essences and try it out to see if the build is fun. But if you want to have high performance, it's not enough to just change the essences. You need to change legendary gems, you need to look on your reforges, and it's not about making rank 10 legendary gems. It's a lot better to use the correct setup compared to having higher resonance. And that's why my advice in this video is that you should get these gems. You don't have to upgrade them to the maximum level. It's better to have the correct 2-star gem at rank 5 compared to have the wrong 5-star gem at rank 10. For example, for DPS output, I will deal more damage with a rank 5 Pain Clasp equipped compared to a rank 10 Starfire Shard. Because resonance is not a great way to improve your damage output. I have showed this in several videos, and if you're curious and want to know more about exactly how the damage formula works, I have also recently put out a guide called the Ultimate DPS Guide, and in that video I explain in detail exactly how damage is calculated. So if you're interested, I recommend you to watch that video, and maybe that can help you to start understanding which details you should look for, so that you don't by accident destroy items that are actually upgrades to you, because it's not the right thing to only look for combat rating or to look for a higher score. You have to have the right properties of the items. So that's just some final words I wanted to share before saying goodbye. And of course I want to thank all of you for supporting me. I get so many nice comments, and it makes it worth to put up these videos, because I do it for you guys, because I want to be helpful. And I hope that you also found this video helpful. And before we say goodbye, please subscribe to my channel, leave a like and leave a comment if you like this video. And until next time, I want to wish you a very nice day or a very nice evening wherever you are. And to all of my clan members in Nyx, I would of course like to say Voruk Nyx, Sholak Sol. So bye bye.
Guess who's back with some brand new content? Hit the bell button, maybe leave a comment. Or else with the swagger, wanna see his game. Teach you all the secrets, it will be insane. Guess who's back with a brand new lesson? He will have the answer if you have a question. Oroth invites you to his awesome tribe. No more time to waste, it's time to hit subscribe. 1, 2, 3 is the man of our affection. 4, 5, 6 only aiming for perfection. 7, 8, 9 he is 10 out of 10. Subscribe and you will never miss a video again.